Good morning, Magic. I'm Gavin Verhey from Wizards of the Coast, and today I'm answering your questions. Or at least, Twitter's questions. I put the call out for everyone to send me questions, but I put on a very important caveat. I wanted these to be your most obscure questions possible. Not just, why did you make this popular card? No. These are the kind of things that rattle around in the back of your head for years without an answer, and you just have to know them. And I got a huge response, so without further ado, let's get right into it. Here we go. Both Skyfire Kirin and Azumuki have threaten abilities, but neither of their abilities grant the creature haste. Out of all of the end of turn effects, these are the only two cards that don't grant haste. Wow, that is definitely an obscure question. Well done. I looked in our database to look up Skyfire Kirin and couldn't find anything useful there. But Cunning Bandit has some clues that we could potentially take a look at. Shall we go sleuthing? Literally the very first comment I can see is someone asking, this should give haste? Literally the same question you are. Then we get into debate about how Ray of Command should work. Should you be able to block with their creatures that they just played? What's the story there? And it doesn't really, unfortunately, ever resolve anywhere. In fact, if you go all the way down and look in the templating notes, there's one note there, the last comment on the card. And it's, that creature gains haste? That was it. What did you know, person? You asked the last question. There was no reply. It must have all been resolved in a conversation somewhere. What did you know, editor? What did you know? So close, Ben. So close. What other creatures, similar to Yuriko from Kamigawa, would you like to design in the future? Well, with Yuriko down, my next stop, Red-White Samurai Lord. Maybe someday, we'll see. When are you reprinting Oubliette? Professor, I think you might have mistaken obscure question for one of the 5 most popular questions I'm asked. But with that said, I came on your show last year and I said that an Oubliette reprint was in the works, and I'm happy to report that it is still on track. So stay tuned for it sometime in the future, but it's going to take some more patience. What's Toothy's deal? Is he real or completely made up by Pierre? What do you think, Toothy? Yeah, I really don't know that I could have said it better myself.
When will old border cards become something you can get from newer Magic packs?
Well, technically, they're in Mystery Booster, so you can go find them right now. But I know that's not really your question, and so I'll say I'm a huge fan of the old card frame. I would love to do more with it every now and then in small doses, and it was really fun with Mystery Booster seeing people open up their old card frame cards and smiling. There's some production challenges, though, and we were kind of able to sidestep them with the way we printed Mystery Booster that wouldn't apply to other ways we printed cards. So if we solve those, maybe I could see it happening. I'd love to make it happen, so I guess stay tuned in the future for products I've designed. We'll have to see. Why partner with instead of more partners? Well, partner is a very tricky and hard to balance mechanic. The combinatorics are gigantic. Any one partner can partner with all the others, meaning you have to think about every combination and how they might work together. It's a lot to work with. Additionally, with Ikoria, the partner with mechanic was perfect. We wanted to show off a bonder and their monster, and that's a great way to do it to make sure you could find those two. More partners aren't off the table in the future, but they would take a lot of work and playtesting and iteration to get right, where with Ikoria we thought this was a lot safer, and also just made sense for the world. Does Secret Lair reopen the possibility of cards with real-world flavor text? Now, I don't write flavor text, so I cannot give a definitive answer here, but I can say that it certainly seems possible, at least. We're putting Godzilla on cards. We could maybe put William Shakespeare in flavor text if we had a good reason to. The key there is the good reason to. We do so much work to build out our fantasy worlds that we really want to focus on those. But if the opportunity presented itself, yeah, I can see us doing it. Which artifacts are stored in the Caverns of Trovash? Why, hello there. Yes, well, if you all know your Dominarian lore, then you know that Trovash is the southernmost chain in the spine that divides the continent. It has mysterious caverns said to harbor powerful artifacts brought to Corondor from Tertiary during the Brothers' War. Now, noted comic book hero Jared Carthelion went to go investigate and discovered a Trovash engine, a Juggernaut-style mining device that Mishra used in the Brothers' War. And that's what was in the Caverns of Trovash. And you can, of course, find this in Magic the Gathering Wayfinder, Volume 3. What's the reasoning behind templating creatures that grant keywords to your whole team to also have those keywords? Ooh, good eye. Perhaps we have a future editor here. This is simply for clarity. It's a lot easier to read trample, and everything else has trample, than just all things have trample. And especially for new players who might wonder, does that apply to itself? Does it not apply to itself? This makes it unambiguous. It helps out a lot. There are notable exceptions, of course, a big one being slivers, who apply to everything, and that's kind of understood. That's the shtick of the race. But in general, we try and make sure to list out the keyword and the other things that it applies to. Everyone agrees that Word of Command is the most black card of all time. What 4 cards in Magic history are the most white, blue, red, and green? Okay, that's a fun one. So what Brian is looking for here is literally the card that is most that color. Not as in mechanically, but as in that color literally printed on the card. Like a word of command is almost all black. So my picks would be, with a bit of help from the audience, Circle of Protection White, Gifts Ungiven, Elkin Lair, and Gaia's Liege. And by the way, Brian said promo cards were banned, so I took all those off the table. Do you have ones better than these? Let me know in the comments. Phew! That was a ton of questions to get through, and there's still more left. So you know what? I'm going to make Friday another dose of obscure questions. So if you liked this one, come back on Friday to check it out. And if you don't want to miss it, be sure to subscribe. That way you'll never miss an episode. Or just go hit here to go watch another episode. There's a lot of fun stuff out there. In the meantime, may you get closure on a question that has haunted you for years. You got this. I gotta go figure out that cunning bandit thing. What's going on? Why don't they have haste? Ugh.